Today, I'm going to be reacting to your WWE Clash in Paris predictions. This is a monthly series that I do every single month on my channel. This gives you an opportunity to voice your thoughts on things that are happening in the world of professional wrestling. I've mainly been doing this for WWE, but I'm also considering the idea of maybe doing this for AEW pay-per-views too, for those who may have watched AEW or those who may watch AEW. So I might do that in the near future. We will see, but we have been strictly been doing it for WWE. But we're going to be talking about Clash in Paris here today. We're going to go through your predictions. I'm going to pretty much give you guys my opinions on the things that you guys say, and I'm going to tell you if I agree, disagree, or maybe indifferent on it and everything like that and so forth. But we're not going to waste any more time. We're going to start off with the first comment that comes from Sean, and he says Cena will lose to Logan Paul with the interference by the Beast Incarnate Brock Lesnar. Now, I do think this is going to happen, and I'm going to tell you why. If you look at this past the last episode of SmackDown, right, we seen Cena and Nick Aldis having an interaction. Nick Aldis told him that I think he got off the phone with Brock Lesnar, and ended up. They didn't say what it was about because Cena got laid out by Logan Paul. So I do think there's a possibility in a world that we could be seeing where Brock could show up, and they use this as an opportunity to give Logan the rub here and give him that heat, but also use this as the pretty much the next step into planting the seeds in as far as moving this feud between John Cena and Brock Lesnar along, because I do think this is going to happen at WWE WrestlePalooza, because WWE is going to try to stack the card as much as they can to combat AEW's All Out pay-per-view. So I do think they're going to look at it from that standpoint, but you also got to understand from this standpoint as well. When John Cena pretty much quote-unquote buries a serpent superstar on the mic, and we've seen it with numerous examples from Roman Reigns back in 2017. We've seen it with Austin Theory back in 2023 in the lead up to WrestleMania 39. We've seen it in the lead up to Crown Jewel with none other than Solo Sikoa a while back. And now we're seeing it with Logan Paul. And what happens every single time those guys get buried on the microphone? They ended up beating John Cena at the actual pay-per-view, and I do think that streak is going to honestly continue. So I do think Cena will lose, unfortunately. It won't be a clean loss, but you also got to understand Logan Paul's character, he's going to pretty much use this as an opportunity to literally throw it in the face of all the fans that are John Cena fans and anybody and pretty much that actually has respect for John Cena. And he's going to be using this for like a long time, pretty much just saying, oh, I beat John Cena. That's going to be part of his character now. He's going to be way more egotistical than he already is now. So probably got to get used to it. But I do think Cena will lose this match, unfortunately. But the next comment comes from Katie. He says, my predictions for Clash in Paris. He says, I think Logan Paul wins with interference. I agree. Seth Rollins retains with help. Roman Reigns wins. Becky wins. Honestly, Nikki Bella's promo skills lack, and she's really not selling to me. She doesn't deserve the IC title. Sheamus wins. Would say Rusev, but I think someone will get involved and cost it. Okay, so we got a few things to go through here. Yes, Logan Paul, I think is going to win. We already went through that. Seth Rollins, I think, is going to win. We probably could be getting the introduction of the newest member of the faction for the Vision, because we already have none other than Bronson Reed and Braun Breaker part of that faction. I honestly think maybe we could see Austin Theory be the new guy. I've been saying that for a while. I think Austin Theory would make all the sense in the world to potentially join this faction. He has a lot of history with a lot of these guys involved, especially with Paul Heyman and Seth Rollins for the most part. So I would love to see Austin Theory be part of this, but I know they might want to turn him babyface, so we'll see if that does come to fruition, but we will see. The next one comes, he says, Roman Reigns wins. I actually think Roman is probably more likely gonna win. Is that the outcome that I want to see? No, because I would much rather see Bronson Reed get the win, because I think out of the Vision he is on the weaker link, and I think he needs this win to establish his dominance and character and presence within the Vision. So I would love to see Bronson Reed get the win, but I think Roman Reigns probably is the safe option. Becky Lynch, I think 100% is going to retain. Nikki Bella has never really done it for me, and I'm sorry to Nikki Bella fans. I'm not saying I hate Nikki Bella, but she's just not my cup of tea in my personal opinion. But I mean, it is what it is. Next, and he's also said Sheamus is gonna win. I think Sheamus is gonna win, but I also think Rusev might end up winning, because we've seen Sheamus's record in these Donnybrook matches is not really a good record, quote unquote. So maybe that might be the reason he actually wins this one. But I see them potentially want to stretch this feud out more because I and whatnot. That's why I said Rusev probably wins, because if Rusev gets the win, this feud can continue. And Rusev also kind of needs it because since he's been back, he hasn't really got that big moment just yet. So this could be that moment here. So we'll see. The next comment comes from Shavonda. Um, and their predictions are Logan, Seth Rollins retains, Sheamus, Roman Reigns, Becky. Pretty much everybody's in agreement with Logan, Seth winning. Sheamus, for sure. Becky, definitely. And Roman, I think, like I said, it's a safe option. So I can't really be mad at that. The next comment comes from my guy Alex. He says, "My friend Bill says Cena, Seth, okay, so Cena and Seth Cena for his prediction. And Seth pins LA Knight, Sheamus, Roman, and Becky Lynch. Okay, so pretty much everybody's in agreement here. I think as far as like their picks, it seems like so far. Maybe we'll see some other people have some different opinions and stuff like that. But um, I agree with a lot of these. Seth pinning LA Knight, I feel like I just feel bad for LA Knight because this man just can't get a win to save his life, and he just literally the phrase that continues to follow LA Knight is never the right time. I feel like, and maybe I'm the only one that feels that way, but I'm sure a lot of more fans might feel the same way. That it just seems like every time he's right there and actually has the opportunity to do it, it's not the right time, quote unquote, in the words of WWE. So we'll see. If I had to pick, I'll say Seth pins CM Punk, but I can see him end up having them um, pin LNA just because he's been taking a lot of losses anyway. Um, the next comment comes from Alex once again. He says, "My cousin Kelly says Cena, Jay, Sheamus, Roman, Becky." So pretty much everybody's having the same picks, but Jay winning the world championship. Now that could be interesting. It could be interesting. Now we know WWE is not really one to have short title reigns, but I think it can work. So we'll see if that ends up happening. I would love to see Jay win the world championship back. I know they teasing something with his character where maybe he becomes a little bit more aggressive, or maybe starting to plant seeds for a potential heel turn down the line. I think that's kind of what they're leaning towards. I mean, I wouldn't be upset about it, but we'll see. The next comment comes from Alex, and these are his predictions. He says, "My predictions for Clash in Paris as of right now, Logan Paul, because I think Ref will get knocked down and Brock will F5 Cena. Then Logan hits a KO punch on Cena, pinning him. I can see that. I think Punk will come close, but I see him and LNA butting heads, and then Seth takes advantage and pins Jay. Definitely is something I can see happening there as well. Rusev, yes. Roman and Becky. I think me and Alex are pretty much one and the same as far as the predictions on how I think these matches are going to play out. For sure, for me personally, because I do think Logan's going to win. I think we're going to get a ref bump in that match. I do think Punk will get close to winning it to tease that he was right there. Then maybe we'll continue this feud potentially, or maybe take a break and then revisit that feud in the coming weeks and months. We'll see. Um, Rusev, definitely I can see winning. I think he deserves the win over Sheamus. Roman, I think, is the safe pick, even though I want Bronson. And yeah, Becky is definitely winning. And the next comment comes from Sean. The Seth's faction fourth man will help Bronson beat Roman, and Braun will help Seth retain. The two names I think the fourth man will be is Dragunov or Austin Theory. Yes, I think these are two of the guys that I think could be. I know the other name that is being like floated to be is potentially someone like a Tony D'Angelo. I just think the thing with Tony D'Angelo, I just think him coming up from NXT, I don't think the fans really know him all that well. So I just don't think he will get much of a reaction compared to having someone like a Dragunov or Austin Theory who have been on the main roster and have gotten that main roster exposure for a little bit. Even though Dragunov was there for a little bit before his injury, but I think he still has made some type of noise on the main roster. And Austin Theory, I mean, he's a former U.S. champion, former Money in the Bank winner, and tag team champion. So I think he fits the mold of what this needs. I think he's still relatively very young. I think he would add a lot to this faction, in my personal opinion. So I would love to see this happen. And then the final comment comes from Siobhan. He says, Shavonda says, My sister Shayna says, Jay Uso turns heel and spears Punk and Knight, then aligning with Seth's faction as the fourth man. This I can actually see happening. I actually do see this happening because for one, this can this can actually build an interesting story between within the faction, right? But then just imagine Roman Reigns, you know, his response to seeing this. Like, what just happened? The person that I consider my family, my cousin, the guy that I took under my wing and helped him elevate to where he is now, and he turns his back on me and sides with the opposition. And then we could also get another Jay and Roman, feud. But now the roles are reversed. Now Jay is the heel and Roman is the babyface. How would the interaction be this time around with the roles being reversed? How would the interaction be with Roman addressing Jay and Jay addressing Roman and the fans and all this stuff? I think this will be an interesting storyline to see play out on television. So honestly, I'm not mad at this if they were to pull the trigger on this at all. I would not be upset by any means. But those are your predictions that we do have. I appreciate everybody that commented something down below. I love doing these videos, you guys, letting your thoughts be heard as well. But you guys, super kick that like button, Superman punch the post notification bell, and spear the subscribe button. Takes 3 seconds out of your day. Do those 3 things for me. Helps in progression of my channel as well. But with that being said, hope everybody has a great day, great week, and I'll see you guys in the next